some sleight of hand.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another Ride Along with Goggles tutorial. And this time it's the, oh boy, much hyped and long, or maybe anticipated, perhaps, maybe, who knows, guideline thing for the Ruda W900, because this truck has turned into a real mess over all the updates they've been doing. And tried to sort it out here for you and myself, because I have a lot of skins to fix for this truck. So I figured instead of going through the pain of trying to make, get each skin individually, all the line misalignments corrected on an individual basis, I would make this series of guidelines for all of the cabs. And that would allow me to get through it a lot quicker, because I'll be able to just bring the old paint jobs in and just get after it. But anyway, so this is a quick overview out here, and then we're going to go into each series of trucks. Like, as it comes in, there's the 86, which we have here. 86 inch has, or no, this is 72. You can see right there on the deck plate, 72 and 60 inch, and right there on the deck plate. You can see where the 86 ends. So what we'll do, I guess we'll run through them. We'll go in and we'll start with a day cab and look what's going on there, and then we'll just go through them and show you the groupings. And I'll make a second video. So for you guys who are, you've been skinning forever and you know what's going on and you know how to use this, you can just use the PDN and go to town. But for those that are new to skinning and stuff, I'll do a second video where I'll actually put a skin on the truck, and I'll make it work for all the different cabs. And so let's jump into the truck manager, and we will look and see. We'll start with where's that day cab? That's the new day cab. Here's the old one. Let's upgrade. We'll start here and show you what's going on. We'll just work our way around the truck, and then we'll point out the highlights on the others as we go. So this series of guidelines is common for the old day cab, which doesn't, it's not got the extended leg room with the expanded cab, and the 42. So if you're looking on here, this day, both day cabs end here on the deck plate. So the old day cab, the 42, and the 60 all use the same guidelines, and that'll be obvious when you get the PDN. It says right on that layer, 42, or old day cab 42 and 60. And I'll show you all that. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Oh, I didn't put the logo in there. So the Kenworth logo is identified where that is too. So if you're trying to stripe around it or incorporate it into your stripes, there it is. But the limited logo doesn't fit in the same spot. It's slightly up and to the left. I think it's got, what's it got, something underneath it, or I don't know. But anyway, you get the idea, and you'll be able to sort that out. So I made it fit the traditional logo. And so that's on both sides. Oh, shoot, I didn't put the, crap, they're making note to myself. I got to put the identifying line around the safety window on this truck. I haven't. Got it on the others. So across the front, we got the grill lined up. So point of note here, if you're going to use this grill custom one, it doesn't line up, but the other ones do. So yeah, but you can see how much. So you can, it's there to see. You can come in and go, oh yeah, I got to move it that much. I'm not going to do a whole nother thing just for that. If you use any of these other ones, they line up with the same, So that'll be good for you. The front, if you put these front fender shields on, they line up. Here, let's get where we don't have a glare. Put that on, and they still line up. So if you take them off, lines are in the same place. Just kind of cool, because these things are in a different place on the template. So you have to go find them, but you can use the guidelines for that. Going through the steps, the steps are a bunch of different sizes. So laterally, the center of it changes. So you'll have to, work on that. But within this box, on the various steps, you can put, you have a flat surface for your script. So we change the step. Let's go up to, well, man, look at them all. Yeah, there's a lot of steps. Look at that. So that just gets way out of whack, but can't make another template for each step, but it gives you the idea where you got to go. And I think on these ones, it's pretty centered. There's, we've got a line. Now this line here above that and this line on the tank will give you, if you want to run a line through everything, that's what you use. So when you're looking at this on the template, you're using this one here. Air cleaners. So on the air cleaners, you've got the place where you can put some script if you want. Don't go above this line. If you go into these lines here, you're going to hit the bands. You got a little spaced out the bottom if you want to put something in there. And then these are the lines on the side of the template. And these lines are up in the corner of the template where the air cleaners are. And this is a different scale. So this is not in scale with the side of the truck. Of course, why would they do that? And anyway, so you'll want to use that to scale your air cleaner stripes. So, and I left the guard off here to show you that the pipe is taking its information from over here somewhere. So that's a real bummer, because if you put stripes on here, they're going to show up over here and it's a mess. So once again, way to go. So, put the shield on, make that thing chrome, and there you go. Now the shield has always been a pixel or two out, and it picks its paint up from behind here somewhere, and then it's not in the right place here. It's off by just a little. I don't let it bother me, and there's nothing I can do about it, because you just can't. You can't fix everything they've got messed up on this truck. So once again, here you'll see the back of all your cabs where they come to, and the fifth wheel locations. So fifth wheel short frame would come right there. So if you're doing a paint job specifically for that, don't bring any design on the deck plate past there, because it'll just run into the fifth wheel. There's fifth wheel standard frame. There's, the little arrows point to the line where it would come, as it is right here. Shows you where that ends. On the back, we've got the rear bumper and guidelines. Of course, they're not in scale with this. So when you take your line stripes from here, use these as a reference where to pick your stripe up and then bring them to the back. And when I do the example, I'll show you how to, just scale it up to fit within these guidelines, and you'll get what you need. You can get everything to line up in one shot, theoretically. I know I can do it. So, bumpers. So there's a box there that you can see it says bumper. It says bumper in there. And that's if you're putting a design on here or something, you wanted to put a logo on here. Don't put it below that point if you're using this bumper, because it won't show up or it'll get blocked. You can also see the bumpers are in three parts: the top, the front, and the back. So they all line up if you use these guidelines. In the template, the outside edges, they're actually together, and the two fenders are, they're not on the sides you'd expect them to be. So this on the template looks like the left fender, and this one looks like the right fender, but they're not. So I put that outside edge identifier on there. Put outside edge identifiers on the front and backs. Now you can see this one, the script is backwards. So that's your clue right there. Anything you put on here, there's the outside edge, but you got to put, if it's going to be, whatever you're putting on here, if you want it to be in the opposite direction of this one, if you want it to be something with letters or a word in it, it's got to be flipped backwards on here. So you're looking at it backwards on your template for it to come out right way around here. And the same is true for this one, because you see outside edge is spelled backwards on the front of the fender, of the right side. On the left side, it's spelled right, front and back. You don't have to flip the script or the whatever. You're also going to see on the template where there's nothing on the template. It has the whole thing drawn, but nothing appears on the flat surface of the fenders, the long rectangle. Nothing appears beyond a certain point. So I've marked that on the template. Just don't bother drawing here. You can see the fifth wheel bracket has guidelines on it. They match up with this. This is a smaller scale. So these are all crunched together quite a bit shorter than on here. So that's kind of a bummer. Let's see, anything else on this one? KaD, of course, got 3 guidelines on it. Plus, there's this one down here. I wouldn't bother going into here. If you're going to bring your stripes up, just find a place to end them in here. If you're going to bring them down low like this, because in here, everything goes for a big dump. I spent hours messing with it to see if there's any way I could make something work for you in here. And it's pointless, because it would just be all garbled up. It'd be stretched over here. It wouldn't look good. That guideline on the front fender, you can see here, goes all the way around. And it's accurate through the front. So you can do that if you like. So I think that's it for this truck. Let's move on and see if we see anything on other ones. Let's confirm whatever we bought there. I think we had the other day cab here. Now this is a standalone. This is its own layer in the PDN. So for its guidelines, it's unique to itself, as it had things that we couldn't do with the other ones. So you can see it has the bigger rear cab here. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. And I haven't put the guideline on the door of it either. My God. And it's in the same place. Everything else is the same on it. But here's a word of caution on the fenders. These lightweight plastic fenders are going to show up as a mess if you paint the other ones, because these ones are broken. You see the line, they don't line up. They've got the outside edge on the, look at, we've got this outside shows here on this one, but it's the inside there. So it doesn't go across the fenders the same. It's just a total gong show. And this outside edge is flipped. It's not over here. It's there. Instead of, like that one. There's no way in God's green acres I'm going to mess with those fenders. I'll just never use them, because if I happen to put a stripe across the fenders, you wouldn't be able to use these ones in your paint job or on your truck if you skinned it. You just ignore them. So if these fenders are something you want to use, don't put stripes on your fenders. Just leave them plain. I wouldn't put anything on these fenders. I'd just leave them plain. If that was important for your, if you had I don't know, if you're doing a heavy haul thing or a really, work utilitarian truck that's not all fancy, leave the fenders alone on that one. And that's all the cabs. That's not just on this cab, of course. The front stripes come around okay on this. Some of them are going to be a pixel or two out, because there's nothing you can do about with the side of the cab being all over. Because to me, it's more important to line the back up. And here it's more visible than here, and how many people paint the grill. So they're there. And if it happens to be half a pixel out or whatever, so be it. And you can find a way to work around it if you really want to go to that trouble. Some of them, it just lines up like magic all the way around. But once again, it's a scatter shot thing. So its own unique template. Let's move on. Oh, shoot. I want to get out of here. We want to find the 38, I think. There it is. This one again is its own unique. It's in a class of its own. The A hood here, so you can see that the lines come across okay. I don't have a chrome grill on here, but I should check how that works out. Or a painted grill. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. This truck here, this side is really messed up. And you got to pay attention to this when you're skinning this. Oh, here's the guideline. I got to put that on those 2 day cabs. I forgot to. It lets you know where the safety window is when you're putting script on here. Everything else is the same except right here, these stripes don't match these stripes. So if you're drawing a stripe across here and you think, yeah, just going to put a stripe right across, you got to get in here to the template and put a joggle in them because you can see they're not lined up. And so on the this one is even still down a little bit, but I didn't get too crazy about it. It's not so bad on this side, but I might go in there and fix that actually. So when you're doing when you're looking at the template, there's a joggle here where this stripe is higher, or I think it's higher than the this one. There's a wibble, so you got to follow that when you're using this thing. And that's the whole purpose of these lines aren't going to be all lined up on the template like they are here. Is if you put them where they are on the template or you use them as reference, they will line up on the truck, is the whole point. And we'll show you when we get into doing a skin. Here's something new we're showing here on this one. There's a new deck plate option that the deck plate wraps, so it completely covers the frame and everything. So let's, oh, I don't have the option here, so let's show you that option. That is under here. So, nope, here. So we got a new one. Got this one. See that one? We click that one, and now you're lined up all the way down. You got paint right over the to the outside, covering the frame rail, or the deck plate covers the frame rail. But when you do that, you don't have the ability to put the hidden cable or the recessed cables in here. That's gone. So just a word of caution if you want to do that one. And for the deck plate, that's this one here. So if you go paint new full, it doesn't have the paint off to the side of the frame rail. And if you went here, change to there, you see the frame comes over the deck plate. So just take note of that. But now we could go with the trailer cables, or wait a minute, go deck plate and go recessed. Now we have the recessed one, and you see I've marked it out on the template. So you know where it is, where the sides of it are. The bottom, let's see if we can, oh no, you can, boy, where's the light, right? You can see a line go down into here and across and up. So you can identify where you can paint that thing. Once again, tells you where the fifth wheel is. Depending on the length. Here we can see we're at the 38. We can see on these fenders, the outside edge, outside edge, outside edge, outside edge, and so on, and bumper. And this one, once again, on the right side, backwards script. Got to put your stuff on backwards or it's not going to be legible. Same here. Outside edge, it's backwards. So you can use that, that'll get your brain around the puzzle of what's going on there. Okay, let's move on. There's a few more of the oddities. Cover order. I think we had that's the 86 we'll get there. We got here's a 60-inch. So 60 and the 42 are the same. I don't think there's anything really new to point out on this one. Everything's pretty good. See, 72 and 60, it's weird. the flat top 60 is the same, comes to the same point on the deck plate as the 72. Not much else to show on this one. This is, once again, old day cab 42 and 60. Same guideline layer. That takes us up to the 72, which I think I'm driving right now. What do we got here? The 86 and an 86. So this one here, let's, no, let's not do that. Let's hop in it. We might as well go like this and tour around out here. Everything's the same here. Now this one has some real peculiarities. This is the only one that where the stripe goes across those panels. You know, oh yeah, there's that one stripe. I got to fix that too. That middle stripe we're looking at. Here, let's, it's up 1 pixel. Gonna have to fix that. That stripe right there is a pixel too high. I got to move that. But when you paint across here, these are going to be all joggled out of place. They're going to look like way off when you look at the template. And you got to align your stripes with them. And it's painful. If your stripe is going off of that door, if it continues below it and goes across between it and the lower door, you're going to have to do a cutout. But I was pretty careful about getting the little joggle right on the seam where it does actually work. And up here, same with this one. Oh, I got a little, you can see a bit of red coming through there. That's where the curve, you know, got to move that in a little bit because you got to follow the curve in the trim. So you'll see that on the template. It's kind of obvious. That one's on the proper part of the curve. So if you're running stripes across there, that's for you advanced skinners. You'll know what to do. Everything else on this one is pretty good, I think. This is the one I screwed up the other day and put me a day behind. I blew all this up and had to redo it all. Just like a putz, and it being the one that's most unique. You can see we're half a pixel out here. There's nothing you can do about it at the bottom. Unless you go, maybe if you go with, you know, you want to make a really coarse skin like 4096 or 2048 or something, you could get a full pixel out of that. But yeah, it's not my style. Once again, the safety window is outlined. This one's off a little bit. That's weird. Oh, I cut the top of it. Okay, got to fix that. Cut the top off it when I extended that stripe forward. Okay, that's easy to fix. Nothing else really on this one. That leaves us with the 86. So let's have a quick look at that. And we'll be done with the intro. I'll show you, I guess the next thing to do would be to show you the template. I'll have to bring it into this PC. I can go get it off the other one, I think. Let's go to company, truck manager. Got 286s here for some reason. Got a tri-drive here. Does that have the goofy fenders on it or not? Let's look. No, it's got the other fenders. So yeah, I think I did this to show you that got to get into walk around mode here. I did that to show you that these fenders repeat. Outside edge, outside edge, outside edge. So on this side, the tri-drive, these hump fenders are the ones that, you know, if you're going to paint them, go ahead, they're going to work. You just got to pay attention to the, what's, you know, backwards, like the, this is backwards, backwards, backwards. So it's the same as the double. And, but they'll look fine. And, oh, I don't have a stripe over the top here. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Oh, look at this. Ah, there's, see, I put on the template, nothing to see here, folks. And then ditto. Well, there is. Okay, I got to change that. I'll have to put tri-drive on there. Okay, lesson learned. Good to know. Ignore what I said earlier in the thing. I'll fix that. Okay. Excellent. Glad I came and looked at that one. So if you have this little custom rear bumper here, that's not the same as the T bumper. It's in a different place. It's at the end of the template for the deck plate, but it's off scale. Of course, why would it be in the same scale? And we don't have a painted fifth wheel here. So there's nothing to see there. Don't have the frame painted. I think that's about going to cover it. So yeah, this is what this is supposed to look like. I'll have to fix that on the other one. I didn't do the door handles. Like, I mean, you know, it's getting crazy as it is. I've got so much time in this thing. It's just trying to get all these things lined up. It's taking quite a bit of time. And it wouldn't be bad if it was one truck, but 5. It's essentially 5 different versions of this because of all the inconsistencies between the backs and the sides. Real bummer. So what we'll do now, I'll get Mod Studio 2 going on here, and I will show you the let's get outside here. I'll show you what the template looks like in paint.net is where I use it. So bear with me and we'll be back. Okay, well, we're back. So this is what, so for putting the skins on the trucks, I use this black background or to put this on to see where things, you know, see how it all lines up and stuff. You can turn that off. And what I have here is the various cabs templates. This is how I skin Ruda's trucks, and in particular this one and the 389, 388/379, whatever. I put all the templates in the drawing, but this is going to make your PC grunt. So if your PC's not up to it, then you may want to do them in separate skins. So I just turn on what I want to see, and then I turn on the layer I want to use. I always put a test layer up at the top, and then on this layer, I can do various things. We'll show you that when I get to the using the template guidelines to show you how to line up the skin you want to make. I'm going to do, for the example, I think I'm going to do that Knights Express and just import the parts, and not going to do it from scratch because, I mean, we don't have that put you to sleep. So here's that area I got to fix. Oh, let's get the keyboard down here. I got to fix this area up here where nothing was showing up. I didn't realize that's the tri-drive fenders. So that's got to come off. And I got to put the line, I got to continue that line on there. So that'll be easy to do. Actually, we could do it right now. Well, I'd have to do it on all of them. Oh, the other thing. Yeah, I've got to fix the safety that's missing on a bunch of them. And the one's got the top chopped off, so got to fix all that. You can see where these are, right and left. These are those fender skirts, and those lines line up with these lines right here. So when you're putting something across the fender, if you are, that's where you line them up, left and right. The air cleaners are here. So these lines here, and I do have to put the final test on that, I'm pretty sure, and they're going to work regardless, just depending, you know, if you have to make an adjustment, or I do before you see this. Those 3 lines are the same scale. Or sorry, you got to scale them to these 3 lines. So they're bigger here. Like if we did on the test window, if we did a little box, let's go here, rectangle, make it 3. Let's just see. We're grabbing the top line and just going to go like this. Just grab that. Put that like that. Say okay. Then we're going to use the rectangle select, and we're going to just copy that, paste it. I'll zoom up there to the corner. You can see it's a different scale. It's we've grabbed more of it. If we go back down here, or there's a bigger gap on each top and bottom. So that shows you where the scale difference is. So you're going to have to just, you know, when you copy your lines over, you just do this with your lines until they line up to your reference point here. And then they should run through the air cleaners properly. So let's undo that. Just Control Z a couple more times. Okay, so anyway, this is our basic day cab. So if we were doing a skin on the day cab, we wanted to put something down the deck plate. And cool, you could go all the way up to here. Depending on the frame, you're probably going to have either the short or standard frame. You would know that the fifth wheel is going to be right here, and your short, and your long one, the fifth wheel is going to be right there. And this is that recessed thing drawn in here for the recessed cables. The bump for the fenders, outside edge, left rear. So the left is fine. On the right, so we got outside edge here. We look at it on the truck, it's backwards. So that would mean this is flipped. So it says outside edge here. You can put your outside edge here, but you have to have your text reading the opposite way. And there's the bottom, this is the top. So you got to bend your head around that one. Same over here. Outside edge, but it appears backwards when you read it over there. So that is the outside edge. But put whatever you want to put on here backwards if it's script. There's the mid bumper, the rear bumper. Got lots of guidelines. There's like 7 on each. The headache rack, I left these lines on here, but it's so far out of whack and they're all different. You can use them, but they don't line up with the body job, with the paint on the side of the truck. And there's just no way once again, they're useful if you're into advanced skinning. You can figure it out, what to do with them. Fifth wheel bracket, you can see the scale is quite a bit smaller. Anything else on this? Anything to look at? Got the fender stripes going through there. We've got the, so you can see the jog here. Bing. So that's your reference point. If you're going to go across the steps with a stripe, and it's straight at the back here, there's no problem there, all the way through to that front step. Then it takes a big lurch. So beware of that. Here's where you can put your script on those front steps, or any of the steps. And use it for, depending on the step, but use it for your vertical alignment. And you can use this guide for the majority of the steps, but those real big ones are going to be kind of come out like this, where you got a bunch of blank space. But that's your choice. If you're going to put something there, just be aware. If it really is really important to have it for each different step, you would have to do a separate skin for the step that's all out of whack. So, or just ignore it. Just, oh well, that's the way it is. Let's go to, what are we looking at here? That was that was actually a 38. Yeah, oh yeah, let's go back here. Let's get the 38 on here. That is a 38. Oh, I got something there, get rid of that. So in the 38, I was mentioning how the stripes are messed up. You can see the jog in them here. Oh, not down here. It's here and here. This one actually probably has to move a little bit more. So so when you're referencing your stripe across here, you come across here and then you put a jog in it to line up. Let's show you the 72, 73. Change the template. This one here, here's that jog in this panel. and you have to move your stripe up that amount. And if you're going on this curve, you're going to have to, do a cut on the curve. The way I would do that, I'll show you when, we're not going to get into it. I'll show you that when I do a skin, how to do that. A nice job of it. Once again, layers, lots of layers. And this one is moved too. And that dividing line there is hidden by the chrome trim. So if you can get on that line, you're going to be fine. Just joggle it and you'll be good. And that's on both sides of the sleeper. And these two here, which ones are they? Yeah, they're drastically different one side to the other on the 72. So, yeah, and the 62. They're a mess. I keep saying it. It's true. Same stuff here. Goes over and over. Yeah, let's, I think only the 86 left. It's its own unique one as well. Oh, yeah, and look here. So we've got, for the layers, we've got new day cap. So you would use that layer. The way to do it would be, well, let's begin to do it with the 86. If you're going to do a skin here, oh, sorry, I should explain layer 4. I have something still on here. See what I've done here? I take a photograph in the shop of the door or whatever it is, trying to figure out where this thing goes. So I'll go in there and this is, see, it doesn't match this truck. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Let's change the truck till we get that was the 86. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't match that one. It must have been, which one were we doing it with? Yeah, not any of these. I guess it just doesn't matter on this particular case. So anyway, what you do is I have a layer underneath everything, above the 10 plates, above the color layer. And that color layer is just for test purposes anyway. But anyway, then you can line it up with something on the truck. Like, see how that's kind of lining up with the trim? I got the door frame lined up here, and I got this lined up here. So whatever scale your photo is, you would just make sure we're on layer 4 here. You would just, you could have this thing. You could be, moving it around. You could be rescaling it from whatever size it was when you took it. It's probably going to be small like that or whatever, and you got to move it around and get it all lined up, and you'll be good. Then you can see where things are. You can take that frame. You could draw your line around the frame or the opening of that window on the layer you're working on. So this one is, what do we got here? Oh, we don't have any of them. Let's, so if we're working on this one, that's the one I cut off. I got to put that back. But you can sort of see how you can, between the photographs, the guidelines and everything, you'll be able to put stripes exactly where you want them. So that's why I use this layer right here. I'll take it out. It's not going to be in the PDN when you get it. The PDN's just going to have probably the black layer. You can put the templates in here if you want. I'm not going to have them in there because that's just going to make it a really big PDN. What it will have is these layers. So you're going to have, the 86. So what you want to do is start your paint job, make a new layer, call it whatever you want. And you can have multiple layers to it. Like you can have driver's side, passenger side, rear, whatever you want. You can have your stickers, your script, everything on different layers underneath there. And then when you want to do the 6272, you create a new layer, come in here, hide this one, hide that, enable this, have that layer enabled, and start building your 6272 skin. And what I would do if it was me, the way I do it, is I pick a truck to start with. So in this case, it'd be the 86. I would bring the 86 skin to, completion, and then I would copy it. So if I had my skin here, I would go duplicate layer. I would hide that one. I would use this one, and I'd move it up here, and I wouldn't have that one there. I would go like this. Now I've got a copy of this one. I'd name it what it is, 6272, whatever skin. Like, so it could be old school. So it would say OS 6272. And then I would take the elements of the skin. So the back is in a different place. You can see these lines all jog. That's one of the changes. That's what's different between these skins. The back and the side are different on all of them. The driver's side is going to be the same alignment on all of them, because this is where everything is based on this side of the truck. But where it varies as soon as you go to the back or the side, except for where they're the same, like on the 6272 or the old day cab 4260. In those cases, this is the same for all of them. You just got to change, or sorry, the driver's side is the same for all of those. But anyway, you go in here and you would find that when you copy or duplicate that layer, this is all going to be lined up still. The only change you're going to have to make is for the length of the cab. So if you went to the 72 and you had your script in a specific place, like it would be back here if it was under this door, or if you had script on that luggage door, it would be here on this truck. So you'd move it over here on this skin on your layer right here. So you just take it from here, cut, paste, move it over here, cut and paste, move it over here. And then on this side, you would take the actual stripes or whatever you have, and you would align them with the same reference to these stripes, to these ones, because there'll be a couple pixels out. Fix them, and you're golden. Boom, off you go, you're done. Go on to the next one, copy that one, move it up, go under the 6272 guidelines, make the appropriate adjustments to height and location of your various items you may have on the cab, duplicate it, go up to the next one, 42 or DC 4260, and off you go. Now for me, for the script, for the day cabs, I usually do the script the same for both of them. So I would have a layer at the top. It'd be day cab script or something, or day cab stickers, and I'd have them on their own layers, and they would be the same one for both. But anyway, I'll go through that in a tutorial using the template so you can see how all that goes. But this is just to give you an idea of what you got here, and what theoretically this should help you get your skins out a lot quicker for this truck if you're doing stripes. Because, like I say, it's a bloody mess. Like, there's so many differences, discrepancies between all the cabs. It's crazy. I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand why. I also don't understand why. See, script is backwards. Like, he's done this in such a way that when you put script on this side of the truck, you have to put it on backwards. So, yeah, we'll get into that when we go skinning. Guys who only are going to go this far with this and going to take off and do their own stuff already know what to do with this. But I'll make the little changes to it here, so you won't see that in the release version of this, and I'll get that done here. You have it shortly. So, yeah, as always, really appreciate you guys following along. And if this has been any help, yeah, give it a thumbs up and a like, and look forward to seeing you on the Discord if you're not already there. And lots of help there with skinning and stuff too. So, yeah, as always, take care and bye for now.